I feel as though like my zeal, not that it has left, but it's lower. And I'm just forever grateful and thankful to God though, like for everything that he's done for me as far as he's brought me. I'm still thankful and grateful to him and to his son Jesus Christ. Like, you know, where I was and where I'm now is like a 360. And I pray for days like this. I pray for better days like this. And so I don't want to get to a place where it's like, oh, well, because I'm hard on myself. It's like, oh, you want more? You're not grateful for what God is giving you? I'm hard on myself, to be honest. I'm just humble. I try to stay in a constant state of being humble, because that way I won't ever think that I deserve anything from God aside from what he's already given me, you know? And they have like a Bible study after church. Like, you know how there's Bible study before church? They do it after. And I was so excited about it. And now I drag my feet a little bit going to it, because it's not what I thought. I thought that we would be in the book, in the Bible. We're reading out of a workbook, which is nothing wrong with that, but that's not what I need. I need help with the Bible, reading the Bible, understanding the word. And I haven't been in my Bible. Like the only time I go to my Bible is when I'm in church, and I try to read a little bit ahead from that. And then I go to Bible study on Monday. And so that's like the only other time that I read the Bible. But I want to read the Bible outside of that, but I need direction. I need help with it. And I thought that this Bible study would help, but we're reading out of a workbook. And the workbook is not, I don't like to say that workbooks aren't helpful, but it's definitely for whoever created it. They would get more out of it than me, I would think. Like that's what I think about it. Like, because some of the wording is confusing. Some of the examples are confusing. It's not the best workbook. And so I do want to purchase another book. I just finished my book. Check out Frank Peretti, Piercing the Darkness, and then read the first one, This Present Darkness. It's very good, by Frank Peretti. It's a spiritual book. It's about the battle between good and evil, and it's not like I'm saying it. It's very like I could believe the story, like, or I could believe, yeah, the story that it applies to real life. But and then I was actually watching. I had watched a series on. It's a creator called Bose, and she does crime. And there was this multiple videos she did on this woman that is basically, and I don't know how real it is, because after she launched this campaign against her psychiatrist, she went on to like doing classes and selling stuff. And so I don't know how real her experience is, or how out of it she is. You know, this could be like a farce. It could be something just to lure people, young people, to get a conversation going and to get attention on her. But basically, Chat GPT, if you know anything about Chat GPT, it's supposed to be something where you type in a subject, and it's supposed to give you everything on the subject. It's like an AI tool. And I'm not completely won over when it comes to AI. I think that it's a way that doesn't help you use your mind. It's an easy way out, and honestly, I remember using it a time or two just to try it, because they have like in certain apps they say, "Oh, try our AI tool," and it wasn't anything spectacular. And then they even say that sometimes it's not accurate, which, you know, if that's the case, you could do your own research. But basically, this woman, she consulted with Chat GPT about her delusions, her grandiose thinking, and supposedly, allegedly, it made her go deeper into falling in love with her psychiatrist, because the Chat GPT confirmed the beliefs, the delusion that she had in her head. But according to her, the psychiatrist confirmed the the beliefs that she had in her head. And so, and I think I'm gonna take you guys on a walk. I know people don't listen to this all the way, but I'm just gonna keep uploading. I want to go get a drink, like a juice or something like that. So I think I'm about to go and get that. But basically, she alleges that the psychiatrist is the person that like promoted these ideas in her head, even though it was probably and likely indeed Chat GPT that confirmed a lot of her delusions. And she's still going on about it, but after she sold sold classes and sold some items online, I don't really believe it. And I'm very honest about what I believe and what I don't believe. And I'm not going to kind of put it up in the air, like, as if it's true, just to get you to believe it. Like, no. No. Because in this day and age, it's important to know what's real and what's fake. It is, so that you don't get emotionally tied to it, so you don't get emotionally entangled into something that has been formulated for you to do exactly what you're doing, which is to be invested. And I did another video where I talk about things that's put on the news, negative things about public figures, and how I believe that these things are not actually happening to them. It's just to keep them more into the spotlight. It's to keep them relevant. And how I believe somehow it like affirms it affirms something within ourselves, where we say, oh, well, at least I'm not going through that. And it kind of, it's like this weird game where you affirming yourself, okay, well, at least I'm not going through that. They have money, but they're going through that. But they probably went through it like a year ago, and it's just now coming out. So I'm going to take you guys on a walk. I'll edit out like the stuff where I'll edit out when it's just nothing going on, when I'm kind of walking through. But I'm trying to figure out my living situation, because I'm barely home. And I'm probably, I'm going to be paying rent on somewhere that I'm barely at. An apartment I'm barely at. So I'm going to take you guys on a walk with me. Yeah, so if I were you, I would be careful with Chat GPT, and like I said, I don't know. What's the thing that's probably the most disturbing is that there was probably something going on with this woman. She was probably going through some sort of mental health, some sort of delusion, and whether she's out of it or not, she's playing with it. And that's what you don't want to do. You never ever want to play with your mental health. Like if something is going on, if you're delusional, then you got to get help for that. And with her supposedly thinking that her psychiatrist was, in love with her, and that he was feeding the feelings that she had for him, you have to think about it. What is the point of therapy? When you see a psychiatrist, you only have 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And so you don't want to waste that not concentrating on what you need to getting what you need. And so what do you need? You need to focus on him or her or they getting the right information from you, right? Getting the right information from you so that you could be given the right medication. So, focusing on whether the psychiatrist likes you, finds you attractive, that isn't something that should even, like, for me, I would want to make sure that I'm answering as many questions as I can, that the psychiatrist understands as much as possible when it comes to me, so that anything that I'm giving, I'm supposed to have. Period. That's the entire point. Not, spending time within my mind wondering if there's something between me and a psychiatrist. Like, priorities, like, so I remember watching a little of Joe Rogan, and he had Elon Musk on, and Elon Musk said that how we're going to get out of debt the country's debt is through AI. Even though AI could essentially take away jobs. But then I'm like wondering if you still need people to manage the AIs, to make sure that the AIs aren't completely operating out of their own, thinking patterns, data, like, because if there's false information out there, how do you know that you're getting that? How does the AI robot or whatever know that they're giving actually accurate information? This is a walking podcast. I'm going to go into the store. No problem. 1 second, I'll edit this out. Or I may not. Okay. Appreciate it. Have a good one. So, yeah, that's what I think though. She focused on the wrong thing. But like, if you think about it too, think about therapy, right? And this is why, see, I never knew the importance of a career until I understood the importance of healthcare. I'll tell you that right now. I never knew the importance of a career until I understood the importance of healthcare. Because you only need healthcare when something happens, right? That's usually when we need it, when something happens. And you experience the basic, that, you know, there's a basic plan, platinum, gold, elite. When you experience basic and what they have to offer, you're thankful and grateful to God to just get basic, but you want better care. And so when I was in the field that I was in, and I was so sure that, you know, I wanted to be in this profession, but I didn't see myself long term. I should have thought about that. You know, you can't go back. That's why we learn. We have to experience things to learn. You know, we don't just know these things off the top of our head. And even if you have somebody tell you it, it may not click. But yeah, healthcare, having good healthcare. Oh, should I walk through there? No. Good, I'll go around. And when you're paying for your care out of pocket because you make so much, it's worth it. I know people are like, well, I don't use it. Okay, but it may come a time where you be glad that you paid so much into it because you get such excellent care. And that's kind of the point that I'm making with that lady. She is playing with her healthcare. She's playing with what's really going on with her. Because what if she can't tell the difference between her not being well and then her just going on and on about something for the clicks and views? You know, like what stops a person to say, hold on, let me either switch the subject, lose followers, lose the attention, and see what's really going on with me, or I'm completely aware of what's going on with me and I got a handle over it. So that is the podcast. So I want to know, last thing, how is AI going to wipe out or settle the debt that the country has? I would really like to know how that could happen. Because the point is that generating money to pay back what's being loaned out, right? And so I would like to know how that would happen, how that could happen. Very curious about that. And I mean, the only thing I could think of is that AI robots taking over certain jobs, so more jobs are created, right? Not people are being taken away from their jobs. Like their jobs are being taken away, but more jobs are created for AI that doesn't put out a human being doing a job. So it doesn't like discredit them or completely take them out of doing the job. But more jobs is created, so AI, they're not human, right? So they don't have needs where they for them to spend money. So all that money would go back into the country. That's the only idea that I can come up with where AI would, take us out of debt as a country. But I'm talking political. So yeah, I'm almost home. I just walked around the corner. And thank you for listening. If you've listened this far, I'm going to cut out the side convo because I don't want, you don't have to hear me walking through and stuff, But I appreciate you listening. If you got past the 30-minute mark, if you got past the 10-minute mark, that's great, because I see that people are stopping at 7 minutes, and it's scary because it's like, the attention span, or I may not be that interesting. That could be an option too. So I'm not just going to blame it on, the attention span. I may not be that interesting, which is completely understandable. But I will catch you on the next one. I think this was a good podcast audio. And be blessed and be a blessing.